The majority of rivers in lowland UK are clay rivers. They run deep and slow. A propeller flow meter only revolves at 60 revolutions a minute. A bright wire disappears at 62 centimetres due to the turbidity. They are often green and cloudy, and their temperature varies with the weather. Clay rivers get their water from streams and ditches, draining agricultural land, often bringing with it silt and chemicals used to cultivate the crops. A lot of their water comes from treated sewage effluent and road runoff at times of heavy rain, often bringing with it a cocktail of harmful substances derived from motor vehicles. Foaming at weirs is evidence of detergent coming through from domestic effluent. It is thus true to say that clay rivers are often neither clean, clear or pure, but what can we tell about the wildlife from a kicknet sample? There are large damselfly nymphs and large mayfly nymphs. There are the freshwater winkle and other snails. There are cased caddis grubs and the peacockle. Freshwater shrimp, caseless caddis, small fish like bullheads, and very small signal crayfish larvae. These tell us that the river is of moderate water quality, but what can a few simple chemical tests tell us in addition? Phosphate levels coming from treated sewage effluent are often quite high, as are nitrate levels from crop fertilisers. These encourage the growth of algae, resulting in organic silts, which when added to silt from roads and floodwater, explain to us why clay rivers are often cloudy or turbid. So let's have a closer look at this silt. A quick scrub with an old toothbrush will provide us with a sample. Under the microscope we see sand grains. This, along with fine silt, clogs the gravel bed, excluding oxygen and destroying shelter and protection for invertebrates and fish eggs. The organic silt is fed on by various midge larvae, and here is a golden brown alga called a diatom. The problem is that the organic silt along with the algae can die and decompose, robbing the water of oxygen. The result is that only tough and aggressive water weeds can root into this type of riverbed. Branched and unbranched burr reed, common bulrush and yellow water lily are all good examples. Clay rivers are therefore rich and fertile, paying host to wide biodiversity, including shoals of roach and chub. On the downside, their water quality is often variable, and they are what we would recognise as an ordinary river. What a surprise it is, therefore, to find another type of river in Hertfordshire, the chalkstream, running fast and shallow, icy cold and crystal clear. At Panshanger Park, west of Hertford, you can see for yourself the River Mimram, a chalk stream which is being conserved, managed and sustained through the efforts of the Herts Middlesex Wildlife Trust and Tarmac. The River Mimram has long been known as the jewel of Hertfordshire rivers. Chalk streams get their water supply from the chalk. Rising to the north of the county are a range of low hills forming the chalk escarpment, extending northeast into Norfolk and southwest into the Chilterns. The chalk dips down, forming a basin hundreds of feet thick under London to emerge as the South Downs. Being fine-grained, the chalk collects and filters rainwater, resulting in a rising water table which is trapped by the gaunt clay underneath. Finally, water appears at the surface as springs, causing the rivers to flow, in some cases rising in the riverbed and forming a winterbourne which only flows at times of heavy rain, or welling up, icy cold and pure as springs in the riverbed, or pouring off long disused watercress beds. Water temperatures remain consistently low, making for a stable environment throughout the year. The bright wire is still visible at 1 metre plus, indicating low turbidity. And the flow meter revolves at between 8 and 900 revolutions per minute, sweeping away silt and debris. Phosphate levels and nitrate levels are both lower than the Clay River, indicating less influence by man. The fast flow, low temperatures and clean water result in a high oxygen concentration, which favours fish such as trout and grayling. Plants such as the yellow flag iris, lady's smock and marsh marigold are common to both chalk streams and clay rivers, but chalk streams have their specialities such as water parsnip and water buttercup. So what can a kicknet sample show us in a chalk stream? A tray seething with life. Cased caddis and mayfly nymphs are very common, as are blackfly larvae which cling to the stones in the riverbed. Caseless caddisfly larvae score highly as good indicators of high water quality, and dragon and damselfly nymphs have both hatched into adults. The fast flow sweeps away any silt, giving a crystal clear riverbed where only a small number of organic debris-free algae can exist. This results in a wonderfully clean and pure river. In his well-publicised article in the 2014 report on the state of English chalk streams, produced by the Worldwide Fund for Nature, Charles Rangeley Wilson says that Hertfordshire used to have 25 chalk streams, 1/8 of the country's total. Now the Mimram is one of the few remaining in really good condition which you can visit and appreciate. Many people say that chalk streams are the UK equivalent of rainforests, but they are vulnerable to water abstraction and pollution. Let us put our efforts into recognising these facts and do everything we can to support the efforts of Tarmac and the Herts and Middlesex Wildlife Trust as they continue to conserve and manage the Mimram, making sure it continues to qualify as the jewel of Hertfordshire's rivers.